minutes, so. Yeah, okay, we give up.
I
Okay,
feel like I'm in the movies.
6:59, okay.
Oh, there's Mr. Troy.
It's for the ALS. Yeah. I think Okay, 7 o'clock on the button. So welcome, everybody, to the Town of Orangetown Town Board meeting of November 26, 2024. And will our town clerk take the roll call?
Councilman Paul Valentine.
Here.
Councilman Jerry Batari.
Here.
Councilman Brian Donahue.
Here.
Councilman Dan Sullivan.
Here.
Supervisor Teresa Kenny.
Here, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilman Valentine.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, couple quick announcements. We have the 33rd Annual Santa Claus 5K Run on Sunday, December 8th. If anyone wants to find out details, just go to orangetown.com. The public hearing scheduled for December 17th on the proposed zone change for 676 and 680 Western Highway and North End Ellsworth Drive is just continued. So just a reminder, it's on for December 17th. We do have a presentation. I almost feel like making this at the end, so I make all of you sit here through this meeting, because I see so many faces that I have not seen here, so, but I won't. I will not. So anyway, as many of you know, we held a dunk challenge, or whatever you want to call it, back over the summer, and I have to say, in all my years being town supervisor, it was by far the best event that we've held. It was fun. The community came together. It was really, in my book, it's definitely was the best event we've held to date. The problem is now we're going to have to try and outdo it one of these days, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. So, and along the way, we were fortunate enough to raise a lot of money. As you can see, we have the check right there, the fake one, but we do actually have a real one for to be presented tonight too. Maybe we don't. Oh, yeah, we do. I'm like, did they just give me the stub? So anyway, so again, this was the community coming together. It was people were generous with their time, with their money, all for a very good cause. And I know we do have representatives from the Greater Hudson Valley, the ALS Graded New York, United Graded New York. Would you want to come up and say anything, about your organization or anything that we can? Sure, right there. So there's a microphone right over there.
Perfect, thank you. Just quickly, I do just want to thank everyone for coming out, for helping us to raise awareness and the amazing amount of funds that you have helped raise. I think you said it perfectly, that the community came together, and that was really part of what the Ice Bucket Challenge was when it first started 10 years ago. It brought communities together and it raised a tremendous amount of awareness, but it also raised a lot of funds that helped propel research and provide care and services in communities that had previously been underserved. So the money that this community raised for ALS United Greater New York is helping families not only in your community, but across the Hudson Valley. It's providing equipment and resources and respite care and grants for home modification. It goes a long way. a little bit from a lot of people goes a long way. So I just want to thank each and every person who participated. And even if you didn't participate, now you know what this community has done, and you're aware, and you can help spread awareness all year long. So thank you on behalf of all of us and on behalf of the community in Orangetown. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to have anything, anybody want to say anything? No? No? Okay, then I guess let's just give them their money, no?
Yeah, I thought it was a great event, and I was lucky enough to go with my kids and grandkids.
You had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun. We all had a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
well done, and I'm glad we raised money for a good cause.
Okay. On that. We should make it an annual. Okay, Brian, I'll let you lead the charge on that one. So on that note, why don't we just, I guess we could just do the presentation of the check? Just wanted to- yeah. Everyone, you want to come up, take a picture? You can all take a picture? Yes, pickleball people, that includes you. Suddenly they're shy, my pickleball people.
There you go, you're all having that holler at again. Move over, Brian.
You're good. You're good to go. As much as I love seeing a big packed room, you guys are excused. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thank you. They come in, they grab the money, and they run.
It's like a bank robbery. You got it?
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna start bringing my mug back. Save the plastic. They're having a party. Okay. With that done, we're going to go on to our discussion items. So I'm going to ask the town attorney, Rob Magrino, to just give an explanation of the first item, the proposed local law with the definition of family, borders, illegal occupancies.
Okay, so a few issues have come up over the years. You know, the code is about 55 years old or so for the first zoning, if not older. And the code enforcement, building department often is dealing with inquiries about, you know, too many people living in a residence or more than one family living in a single-family residence. And over the years, case law has developed that defines what a family is. And so it seems appropriate to kind of update the code to meet what the case law is, and also to help not only the building department, but the public in general to know what the definition of a family would be, from a legal perspective, what's been held up in court before. And it also, the proposal has some presumptions, meaning that if we go to court on something, that certain evidence or certain activity would be presumed, to not be, say, a single family. I'll go through those briefly. But so, we would enhance the definition of family, and there would be a couple of other presumptions. That would be if there were 4 or more people living in a single dwelling unit who are not related by blood, marriage, or legal adoption, it would not constitute the equivalent of a traditional family, which is what the definition would be. Again, it doesn't mean that they're not a single family, but it is a presumption that we could use in court. Another one, a presumption that would that this definition would add would be a dwelling unit where various occupants are separate roomers and not really living together as a single family. That would be, again, a presumption we could use in court. And each of these cases, sometimes people come in and ask for a blanket, what does this mean, what does that mean? Each one is really case specific. Somebody might say, oh, there's 3 people here, or, it really depends. And I think that this will be a tool that will help the building department, help my office when we go to court on it. So, again, this is just for discussion purposes. The next steps would be, at the next meeting, we'll set a public hearing for a subsequent meeting at which this will be fully vetted. One of the other issues that came up was boarders or roomers. In the code right now, again, this goes back many years, the keeping of not more than 2 boarders or roomers is permitted in a single-family zone. I've discussed with the board maybe amending that, so the proposal would be to make it 1. To use the words of our supervisor, you don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. Sometimes people do maybe rent a room out here or there to help them, kind of stay in town, if you will, or whatever. So, again, something to be debated. And finally, what would be a bigger addition would be to define illegal occupancies. Again, this would be helpful to code enforcement and our office in prosecuting in whether it be here in the Justice Court, or if we go to Supreme Court in New City, exactly what an illegal occupancy is. Again, whether it be, too many people occupying a building, or too many or more than one family occupying a single family dwelling. And again, one of the things that, or a couple of things that will be in there are certain presumptions, and there are a number of presumptions in there that would help us when we go to court. For example, multiple vehicles parked there that register to people who are of different families, separate leases or agreements for the property, entrances which have not been, approved by the building department. And one of the ones that we see that is helpful would be if a room is advertised on, Facebook, or,
Right.
nobody advertises in the newspaper anymore, I guess, but, wherever it might be. If it's advertised
Like a room for rent.
as a room for rent, that would be evidence that the town could use, to show that, hey, this is being used by more than a single family. So, it's not super extensive, but it is something that to be looked at, and we'll certainly vet it at the public hearing. But it's something that this kind of addresses a number of issues that sometimes, come to the surface a little bit when people have questions about illegal occupancies or single-family residences, et cetera. So that'll be on next time to set the public hearing for some time, I guess, in January.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? No?
Would that mean like with Airbnb and VRBO, would that cover those?
Well, we already have that covered in the short-term rental. We already have that covered. This is more of a
Long-term.
permanent, long-term type.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting, reports of people advertising rooms for rent. you know, a single room, which again, if it's one person, it's fine, but, you know, part of the problem is, what I think why we need to do that is that, you know, we get there's a lot of people there, but that's not a legal standard for us to go in and say, the neighbor said there's a lot of people there. So we have to have kind of standards to substantiate that it's not being used as a single family. So this is kind of giving us tools more than anything, I think. Making it clearer so people know, and giving us the tools when it does come up to be able to try to prosecute it. You know, they're tough, they're not easy. I mean, you know, unless you're fortunate enough to see 3 mailboxes on the outside of the house or something that really gives it away, they're kind of hard to prove sometimes. So this is just one more effort to help the attorneys and the building department, so. Okay, so anyway, we do have a draft, as Rob said. Do we have to send this out to people? Is it something you got to send out?
Not yet. We'll, when we set the public hehearing, I'll
Then we'll
have
send
it
it out.
sent out.
Okay.
And I think it's on the website, but if it's not, we'll make sure it's on there.
Okay, so we're going to go on to just our workshop, our agenda items. I think it's a fairly quiet agenda tonight. We have items 3, 4, and 5, approving the agreements between the police chief and the 2 captains. As you know, this has been something we've been working on for quite some time. Their contract expired, I guess, in 2022, so they've been working kind of on an extended contract for now. So this is approving their contracts, which will go through 27, which sounds longer, but being we're almost at 25, it's not. Number 6 is the town board meeting calendar. Again, this is as we will approve it, but as you know, we often have to make changes due to certain things. But as we sit here, we're setting the calendar for next year. Number 7 is accepting grant money. We are getting a grant of $15,000 for an electric utility vehicle. It's like a golf cart, right, Allison? Is that what it's like? Yeah, and we just are committing to expend no more than $3,000 if it goes over that for a little electric. That's for parks? Yeah. Okay, so, again, all our clean energy works is paying off. Number 8 is a tax certiorari, approving a settlement. I think if you look, it has no, what's the town? A total refund by the town of 0. So yes, so there's nothing for us, nothing for the county. It looks like the school district has a small one of $1,500. Number 9 is appointing Teresa Halpin, better known as Terry Halpin, to a position in the Highway Department, the receptionist, step 1, effective December 9th. Number 10 through 13 are basically appointments that Superintendent of Highways Jim Dean made, so we're just recognizing them for purposes of the record. So we have an appointment of Jason Elmendorf to the Motor Equipment Operator 3, effective December 2nd. We have Alphonse Soma to the Maintenance Supervisor Automotive. We have Michael O'Sullivan, position of labor, and Rocco Kubasek to the labor position. So they're all Jim Dean's appointments. 14 through 17 are all land assistance. So we have the St. Thomas Aquinas Winter Wonderland, which is December 7th. They're asking for the showmobile. We have the Pearl River Rotary Share Christmas, December 13th. And we have the Orangeburg Fire Department Holiday Parade, which is on December 14th. So they're all fun stuff. Then we have receive and file documents and the audit. So pretty quiet overall. Okay, so could I get a motion to open the public comment section?
I make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I have one person signed up so far, Don Gable. Don, I just point out that we do have a 3-minute, you'll see the signs here, 3-minute limitation, so.
Hi, good evening. My name's Don Gable. I'm a third-generation resident in Orangetown, and fourth and fifth are here in Blauville. I just would like to take a little bit of time briefly to talk to you about the proposed zoning changes along Western Highway. I see, we have another evening that we can discuss it, but I thought I would come here in a nice, calm setting and just say a few things to you. The new comprehensive plan was voted on and approved by this board just over a year ago, about. The document was designed to guide the town's path forward for land use, business development, and environmental issues, among other things, but just to catch some of them. and it reflects the community's priorities on these matters. Took a long time, as you know, to sort of bring that together. Looks even, maybe even a little painful. New York State town law states that land regulations such as zoning, natural resource protection, and the likes must be in accordance with this comprehensive plan that was adopted. Applications for development must be considered in the context of the plan that was approved. The plan seeks to protect and maintain the town's character, which I think was a very important aspect, especially in that portion of Orangetown. It also looks to protect natural resources and the environment, such as wetlands. In fact, I believe it suggests a 100-foot buffer for some of these types of areas, a large area to be buffered from wetlands that are involved in that particular area. Which brings me to the idea that we're trying to assess this situation and there's no environmental impact. A full environmental impact needs to be done, because how can we have a decent conversation about how this will affect the environment and the community without having this full assessment? Yes, they just proposed something, but we can't really digest that unless we know. It's a very sensitive area. And there's a reason that these areas were zoned R80. That's Wayne Gavioli spoke about that. And I'm winding down here. The area adjacent to this property, just to the west, is full of, it's a ripon area, very vital to the whole area, the watershed. It's full of beech trees. There's a new beech disease. I don't know if anybody's aware of it, but it's about annihilating all our native beech. That area is heavily populated with beech trees. That's all going to be gone in the next couple of years, coupled with whatever development in that wetland area. So I think that that's a huge problem. It's also for the town, because of my role in sometimes advising the town in tree matters. We have North Shore and Sparkhill Creek that have these ripon areas with beech trees. There's going to be environmental issues with our own creeks, let alone the impact it'll have on that area. Thank you very much.
You're more than
Thank you.
welcome. Is there anybody else here who would like to speak that hasn't signed up?
Nope.
No? Going once? Going twice? You can speak on anything you'd like.
Yep.
Okay. Well, within reason, anything you like. I don't hear.
My name is Patty Pojway. So your discussion about the renting of rooms in the house. So if you said 2 boarders or 1 roomer, does that mean the person who owns the home would also have to live in the house? Does the person
No,
who-
I don't think it means that. I think if it's one family, Robin, correct me if I'm wrong, it'd be one family plus one non-family. But it doesn't, the owner doesn't have to be, like if I
So
rent the
if I
house, me and my
wanted to-
family rent it, I think we could rent out a room as a boarder. I'd have to,
Right,
And
a
who-
single family allows that, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
A
you.
single family allows
right,
the
but I think
renting
she's
to a
asked the
boarder.
question, is do you have to be the property
No,
owner?
it doesn't have to be
No.
the owner.
So you can have 2 boarders in your house and you don't have to live there, or you can have 1-person room in your house and you don't have to live there?
Correct, as long as the rest of the house is one family. So if you rent it out to a family, a mother and father and 2 kids, and they're renting the whole house and they rent out a room, I mean, it may be not what the landlord allows, but as far as our law, my understanding is it's one family, plus you could rent out 1 room. I don't think you have to be the owner. That's my interpretation.
No. It doesn't
Well,
have to
right
be
now
the
it says
owner.
2.
Right now
Our
it says
question is
2,
if we're gonna reduce it to 1.
reducing it to 1.
So the existing law allows 2, and we're cutting it down to 1.
So if I was not living in my house,
And you rented it to a family, that family could then sublet 1 room.
If you allow them, again, you could have a lease that
Allow
says
them.
something totally different, but
If your lease says no, then they can't.
so you have to have a lease that would say that I am leasing the home to you and no one else.
Yes.
yes, most leases do say that.
Okay, and then when you said that you need tools to, so say across the street from me, I see a lot of activity. I know the owner is not there. I see many vehicles. pictures of it, or I can't just walk in here and say, you guys.
No, it goes to our building department. When we get complaints, it goes to our building department. They'll have to do their own, go by and again, see if there's 2 mailboxes, see if there's, they may have to do some, that's when I say it's a tool. It helps them to try to establish that there's more
right,
illegal occupancy.
So if they go there, the building department, they notice that there's 8 cars, and every one of those cars is registered to a different person,
Right.
not in the same family, that will be a tool for them to then
Right, there's a
enforce
presumption
the
that
law.
there's, right.
All right, so if for that, if I see somebody that has 8 cars in their driveway, is that something I'm gonna call up and say, okay, there's 8 cars over there, you gotta check?
Yeah. Say, I think we get this,
I
I mean,
think there's something fishy going on in
I
that house.
think there's more than there's 8 for,
8
you
cars,
know.
and there's a lot of people, and it's a single-family house.
So the first call would go to the building
yeah,
department?
yeah,
Yes.
ideally. I get them and I pass them on to them, but yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
I mean, again, there's plenty of things we're being told from the school district that there's kids being registered from the same house with different leases, and so there's a lot of things going on that we can kind of, but we need some kind of proof, some kind of evidence, and then we can start the legal process. You can't just go in and say, the neighbors say there's a bunch of cars over there, that's not gonna
So
work.
we don't take it into our own hands, we just report to
Yes.
you.
Ideally,
what
you
we
don't take it
see.
into your own hands.
Yes, okay, thank you.
I don't want to get a call from OPD that they caught you stalking around one of your neighbor's house in the middle of the night with a hoodie on. Okay. Anybody else like to speak? Again, just.
My name's Dorothy Rooney. Can you hear me? I was here last meeting as well, and I did address an illegal rental next door to me. It was reported to the buildings department, and I was informed there is already a violation against them. My question to the building department, people that owned the house prior had a violation against them. I don't know if it's the same one that's on record or if it's a new one. Because if they already have a violation against them, I didn't call prior to that for a violation. So I'm wondering, how old is the violation they have on the person next door, or is it an old one? So I don't know.
Right, right. Again, all this is, if there's an existing violation, it's subject to FOIL. You can also go onto the website, and it's Freedom of Information request. You can put in a FOIL request, and I'd like to see any violations of records on the property at such and such an address, and they'll send you any documents they have.
Well, I did to the school district, and it was investigated because there were children there that didn't live in the house that were using a school district. So the school district did send an investigator, but never at the time where the child being dropped off and picked up by the bus was noticed. So he couldn't do anything, and I was informed if the child lives in that house just one night, they're entitled to go to the school district. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what the
Yeah.
rules are.
All right, so I was just curious if it was a second violation or still the old violation against
Right.
that particular residence
Right.
from a few years ago.
No idea.
Okay, thank you.
Come on up.
Good evening. My name is Grace. Thank you for your time. My question to you is, what are the regulations or what is it about the do not knock list that I need to know? Because in the section where I live, we are getting a lot of soliciting, and I'm on the list, and they still knock on my door.
Okay.
And I am trying to go around my section, and I want to make sure that we're all on the list, so I'm going to be compiling a list. So are you really implementing that law?
Yes.
Because
And we,
there are
right.
ever
When we don't like go back and forth normally, so when you're done, we'll kind of address the,
So what can I do to ensure that in our section, we are not being, harassed technically about buying our property almost every week?
okay, thank you. We'll address it when we're done. See if anybody else want to speak that hasn't had a chance?
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sue Lochran. I have a question about the landlord registry. I understand that any rental property is supposed to be within 30 days, I believe, registered with that. So I wanted to know, first of all, is that accessible to the public to see, like, if I suspect that a house is a rental, how would I go about looking that up myself, or do I have to do a FOIL on that? And what department oversees that?
Okay, thank you. Again, we try to answer them when everyone's done. Anybody else want to speak that has not had a chance to speak? Nope, seeing no hands, can I get a motion to close?
I make a motion to close the public portion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the first one I'll address is the do not knock. So yes, we are enforcing the do not knock registry. You need to make sure that the neighbors or anybody who wants to sign up is actually signed up at the town clerk's office. What we were finding is that some people had the stickers but were not signed up, and some people were signed up, they didn't have the stickers. Now, you don't technically need to have the sticker on your door. You just have to be signed up. What happens is when the vendors come around, they get a permit from the town, they're given that list. And that list should have everyone's name on it that they're not supposed to knock. We're aware that there was a vendor that recently, and he was actually, if you call the police and you're on it and they went to your door, they are getting summonses or whatever they got him. So the last guy that was just recently out there, he did get, I think they said 2, right? 2 tickets or something? 2 something? What's very frustrating about that situation is that he knew, because he had been over in my neighborhood a month or so earlier, and someone had called the police, but the person at the time wasn't sure if they were on the do not knock registry. So now we have connected the police department so they actually have it live with them in their car, because the owner didn't know. So that in that time, but he clearly was aware of it, because he went a couple weeks later and he went up in the other neighborhood doing the same thing. So, but yes, we are enforcing it, and I guess the question for me was how often, so the list just is a continuous list,
We keep updating as they come in,
right?
as people email us with their
Right.
addresses.
So if someone got the list, and then someone came in and signed up, would you give them, like, that's what I worry about, people signing up after he has the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an ongoing thing,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the trick is to make sure you're signed up at the, and it's easy enough. The clerk, they have the board that you sign up, they'll give you the sticker. Ideally, you should put the sticker up, but I get some people don't want to put the sticker up. As long as you're on that list, if someone comes, again, now just keep in mind, it's solicitation, so it's not for somebody who wants to talk to you about religion, it's not for somebody who wants to tell you to vote for them, that's all allowed. But yeah, the police will come and they will issue them the appropriate tickets. We just got to get the word out to people. People still don't know about the do not knock registry, you know.
And you have to call the police. They're not driving
And you have to call the
around
police,
looking.
right. You know. The landlord registry, that's a very good question. Is that stuff foilable? I don't, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Something we need to follow up on. I think we do have it, we just don't know how up to date it is.
Right. And if you
It's with
suspect.
the building department,
Like
though.
with the other one, if you suspect somebody is,
Right.
illegal activity there, you report it to the building department.
Right,
they'll follow
and if
up.
they, yeah, and if it is being rented out and they're not, if they didn't register, then we certainly have grounds to go after them. But that's something we need to, let me do that landlord registry. We also have the LLC thing too, okay. I think I got everything anybody else have anything they want to add before we go on to the agenda?
No, but with the landlord registry, it is something you can foil, and I think it's through the building department. They're the ones who keep it. So, and again, that's a tool. If people aren't registering and you call, then it gives the inspector a reason to go over and say, hey, is this a rental house? How come you didn't register? It's a little opening of the door.
A little push at the door. Okay, with that, we're gonna go on to our agenda items, number 3. Can I get a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement between, Police Chief Donald Butterworth and the town of Orangetown?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get number 4, motion to approve the memorandum of agreement between Police Captain Michael Shannon and the town of Orangetown?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And can I get a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement between, Police Captain James Atchison and the town of Orangetown?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't know, is the chief or anybody around? Okay, well,
He's out there.
okay, just wanna, congratulations, it only took us 2 years. Anyway, number 6, approve the 2025 Town Board meeting calendar.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Number 7, accept the grant and agree to a fund overage for the New York State NYSERDA $15,000 Clean Energy Community Action Grant for our electric utility vehicle.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Eric's making out of this, he's getting the F1, the pickup truck, the electric pickup truck, and now he's getting this. It's gonna be buzzing all over town. Okay. Number 8, approve and authorize the town attorney to sign the settlement documents for a tax certiorari proceeding of Matthew Janensko versus the town of Orangetown. Motion?
Move.
Second?
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, shit, we can go with that one, okay. Motion to appoint Teresa Halpin to the position of receptionist.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, recognize Jason Elmendorf to the position of motor equipment operator 3. Motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 12, recognize the appointment of Alphonse Soma to the maintenance supervisor automotive, effective December 2nd.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recognize the appointment of Michael Sullivan to the position of labor probationary, effective December 2nd. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recognize the appointment of Rocco Kubasek to the position of labor probationary, effective December 2nd. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
You said aye, you said a second. I said second, he's like aye. Okay, combine and approve agenda items number 15 to 17.
Motion to combine and approve items 15 to 17.
Okay. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion to accept and receive file the documents at the town clerk's office, the town board meeting minutes referenced, and the Christmas lighting company for Pearl River agreement. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Pretty light this.
Okay, the audit for tonight's meeting consists of 3 warrants for a total of $756,000. Items of interest, number 6, save a tree, $129,000 for tree removal at both golf courses. Number 8, Springbrook Holding, $18,000 for finance software, that's our general ledger and accounting software. Number 10, Virtuit Systems, $38,000 for IT licenses and consulting. Any questions on the audit?
I don't have a question on the audit per se, but I see the first warrant, but they were for utilities. So just 2 points. At one point, we'll be able to tell whether this new building is helping us with our utility bills? Is it too soon still?
We're getting to the point where we're in the building a year almost.
Yeah.
So, we can
Could
do
go
a
back and-
longer-term study
Yeah.
of that. But, so we're just, probably in another 2 more months, we could start
Trying
looking
to,
at that.
I'm just curious, we know we did a lot of energy efficiency things in here, although it's a bigger building, I guess, but, and the other thing is that we did the community solar, so that just kicked in, which is gonna save, what, 10%? Is that what it is, 10% of the bill?
Yep.
There you go. So I'd be curious to see how all those savings work out.
Yeah, once we're in here a couple months past the full year, we can start looking
Yeah.
into that. Because they were still doing a lot of work with opening.
Yeah, for a long time, yeah.
So,
Your light wouldn't turn off until about 2 weeks ago.
well, exactly, yeah, and the lights were on for, what, 4 or 5 months?
I know,
So,
yeah, so we may have to wait till next year, but
Yeah.
just something to think about.
Okay.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to accept the audit?
I make a motion to accept the order.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we do have to go into executive session to discuss matters relating to personnel and the proposed acquisition, sale, lease of real property when publicity might affect the value. So we do have a couple of adjournments. We have Francis Aiello, a resident of Pearl River, Louise Duffy, a resident of West Nyack and the owner of Cafe DM in Pearl River and Piermont, Vincent Fortino, a resident of Pearl River and grandfather of Congressman Mike Lawler, Martin Galvin, a resident of Pearl River, and Henry Sullivan, a resident of Blauvelt. So can I get a motion to go into executive session and to adjourn in memory of those individuals?
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay.